Hello friends, welcome and let's solve this amazing Math Olympiad cubic equation together, okay? It's cubic because the highest power of this b, which is the unknown, is 3. And what it means is that you are going to have 3 solutions. Case 1 is that you may have the 3 solutions to be all real. Then case 2 is that you may have 1 out of the 3 to be real and the remaining to be complex. Notwithstanding, it has to be 3. Now, let's discover the kind of solution we have here. Remember, it's very simple, okay? So we're going to begin with solution. So what do? You bring down this, we have b cubed plus b squared is equal to 36. Now, you're going to ask yourself, simple question. What 2 numbers can I add to give me 36? What you have to look out for is, this is having a power of 3 and this is having a power of 2. So those 2 numbers you are going to give me now, you must ensure that one can be expressed in square and the other can be expressed in cube because of these powers. I hope that is clear. So what 2 numbers do you think of? Now let's think of, we are thinking of 27 because 27 is 3 times 3 times 3, which will give us 3 cubed. Did you see it? Okay, now what other number can we add to this 27 to make it 36? You can now have 9. And 9 is 3 times 3 to give us 3 squared. Did you see that? So we've gotten this. So it means that 27 is 3 cubed and 9 is 3 squared. So this is going to help us to solve this equation. So in that case, we are going to bring this down to now have, from here, we have b cubed plus b squared is equal to, this we replace this, so we have 3 cubed plus 3 squared. Did you see it now? So what do you do at this point? What you need to do is to gather those ones of the same powers together. So let's get b cubed, okay? Now this is 3 cubed, remember it's positive. So you are going to subtract 3 cubed from both sides so that you take it to this side. So it becomes negative 3 cubed. Did you see that? Then we have plus b squared. Now this is positive. Subtract again. Subtract 3 cubed from 3 squared. It becomes negative 3 squared and everything. And when you have subtracted, what you are left with here is what? 0. Did you see it now? So what do? You are going to group them in pairs. So to do that, we are going to group this. Okay, so let's write it down. So this is going to give us, so what we have there is b cubed minus 3 cubed. Let's group. Then here we have b squared minus 3 squared, and everything is equal to 0. So what do? Just remember your simple algebraic formula, okay? Or the algebraic identities, which says that when you have a squared minus b squared, we call this difference of 2 squares. It is a plus b and a minus b. Very important. Then another rule says, another formula says, we have a cubed minus b cubed. We call this difference of 2 cubes. It is the same as a minus b, then a squared plus ab plus b squared. Please, you have to note this each time you are working with cubic equation. So what do you do now? Let's replace this here. Let's put it here. So we're going to have, for this, let's use this. We're going to have, this is going to be our a and this is our b. So we're now having b minus 3. We're working with this into, we have b squared plus ab means multiply this to give us 3b. Okay, then b squared, b is 3 and 3 squared is 3 times 3, giving us 9. So we have 9. Did you see that? Then plus, what do you do again? For this, we are going to use difference of 2 squares to give us b plus 3, okay? Then the other one is b minus 3, and everything is equal to 0. So you will notice that something is common in these two. Remember, these two are together as well as this. So something is common in these two parts, and that is b minus 3. So let's bring it out. So you open a big bracket. Use this to divide this. You'll be left with b squared plus 3b plus 9. Did you see it? Then use this to divide this. You'll be left with what? you're going to be left with b plus 3, okay, and is equal to 0. So we are on it. Interesting. So we have b minus 3 cubed into, let's simplify this. So we have b squared, 3b plus b will give us 4b. Add this, you are going to have 12, and everything is equal to 0. So you see, this has led to quadratic. So let's still work on it. And in that case, you are going to have, this is going to give us, so we have this and this are equal to 0. So what it means is that b minus 3 is equal to 0, or b squared plus 4b plus 12 is equal to 0. That's what this means. So in that case, for here, you are going to have add 3 to both sides. B will be 0. If you add 3 here, it goes off. So we have this. So it means that b will be 0 plus 3 is 3. Okay, so we have b as 3. This is one of the solutions. Now let's look at the other solution from this. So what do we have? This is b squared. So we're going to solve it quadratically. And to do that, we're going to remember the quadratic formula. That's what we will use here. But from the quadratic formula, it is gotten from ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. And we have it that the formula says that the solution of x is negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. What it means is that the coefficient of x squared is the coefficient of b squared. And what's the coefficient of b squared? There's 1 here. So it means that our a is 1. Then what is our b? Our b will be the coefficient of b in the equation, which is what? 4. And our c is the constant, which is what? 12. So let's plug this into this formula to get the solution for the b, the other part of the b. So in that case, we are going to now have, so this is going to give us b is equal to, from here, our b will now be, plug it into this formula. We have negative, what did we get? So we have negative 4 plus or minus. Okay, so to differentiate the b, we have, let's put asterisk here. The asterisk one is the one in this, okay, so that it doesn't confuse us with what we're looking for. So we have this square root of, okay, we have b squared. Our b squared is 4. So we have 4 squared minus 4 is multiplying. A is 1 and our c is what? 12. Did you see that? This is all over 2 times our a is 1. So we have this. That's interesting. So what do you do again? You have negative 4 plus or minus square root of 4 squared is 4 times 4, giving us 16. If you multiply this, it gives you negative 48, and that is all over 2. So if you simplify this again, you're going to now have, so this is giving us b as negative 4 plus or minus square root of, if you subtract this, we're going to have 48 minus 16. We're going to have 32, and that is negative 32. I hope this is cleared. So this is negative 32 all over 2. Now you notice that there's a negative sign inside the square root. This has made it not to be real. Okay, it becomes imaginary, and that leads us to a complex root. So what you do to remove the negative sign, you replace it with I. Okay, so we have b is equal to negative 4 plus or minus. To remove this out from this root, it becomes I. So we have square root of 32 all over 2. 32 has a perfect square in it, which means our b is negative 4 plus or minus I, then 32 is 16 times 2 all over 2. So what does it mean? We conclude to now have it that, so we can now have it here, that our b is equal to negative 4 plus or minus, then we have I. If you take the square root of 16, it gives you 4. So we have 4, bring it out. 2 is not perfect, so you leave it in the root. So we can write this as 4i. Okay, so let's write it as 4i all over these 2. So at this point, you can still remember we've gotten one of the solution to be b as 3. Okay, So we're going to have b is equal to -4 divide each by 2 plus or minus 4i square root of 2 divided by 2. This we cancel. We have b is -2 plus or minus, this we cancel, this we have 2i square root of 2. Okay, so in that case you will see that our b is equal to 3. That's the first solution. Then the second one is b is equal to -2 plus or minus, it's okay, let's take the positive one. So we have plus 2i root 2. Then the third solution is b is equal to -2. Let's take the negative one here, 2i root 2. So these are the three solutions. These two are the complex solution and this is the real solution. So we're going to check for the real solution to know if it will give us the right side of the equation. Now note that if this question had wanted only the real solution, you would have just stopped at b equal to 3. I hope this is clear. Okay, so we now do a check. So we are going to put b as 3 here. So we have 3 cubed plus 3 squared. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, giving us 27. And 3 squared is 3 times 3, giving us 9. And when you add this, it gives you 36. And this becomes the answer. So you can help us to check for this real one, the complex one, and let's know your thoughts in the comments. And I hope this helps you a lot. Let's know how much it helps us to serve you best. Remember, you can share with your friends and give this tutorial a thumbs up. See you in our next class. Bye-bye.